God introduced himself to me. When I was 12, my dad wasn't a believer. My mom would kind of drag us to church every Sunday. And one Sunday, we didn't go to youth group or anything. I didn't really know about it. We just went to this tiny church in the D.C. area out in Fairfax, Virginia, Falls Church, Virginia. And one Sunday, this guy taps me on the shoulder and asked me, he said, in a few months we're going to go to this camp and I wanted to invite you. So I looked at my mom and she seemed to know the guy. He was the volunteer youth pastor. It just started. So I signed up for this camp. And a few months later, I invited a few friends that I had, and a few months later we get in this little van and drive down the road a couple hours to this camp. And he kind of acted like, honestly, he was like, you gonna play basketball there and all that. So like, for real, I thought it was like a basketball camp, man. When we got out of the van, we started walking like toward these cabins that I saw, but we stopped in a tent like this, and this dude got up and started preaching for like an hour and a half, and my boys were looking at me like, yo, this is the strangest basketball camp I've ever been to in my life. But we did play basketball, so he didn't lie. But each night in our cabin, we would sit sort of like on the floor of that cabin with that youth pastor, and he would sort of open up God's Word and begin to read it to us and tell us about his struggles that he had in life and tell us how he came to Christ. And I don't know, man. I mean, I love the church, and I'm all for a pastor behind a pulpit, but there was something about, for me, the way this guy got down on the floor with us, got in the trenches with us and talked to us on our level. And it was Friday night, and I remember he spoke on the floor, got up and walked into his room, and we all zipped our sleeping bags up. And I just remember lying there, my heart was beating out of my chest. I wanted to do something about what I felt inside. So I waited like a half an hour and unzipped my sleeping bag and walked in the other room, and I woke that youth pastor up, and I said, man, I gotta do something about this. He says, what's wrong? I said, man, I just want to meet this Jesus you've been telling me about. We both got on our knees together, and I remember it so vividly. I remember the bedspread, put my elbows on it, my knees hit the floor, and I just asked Jesus into my life. And so that's how I came to the Lord at 12, and praise God. So first of all, thank you and all you other youth pastors out there for what you do, man. It's the guts of who we are as believers, what you do. I appreciate you guys for being in the trenches with those kids, because I was one of them. And if it wasn't for what you guys choose to do, I wouldn't be sitting here, man. So thank you. And what it did in my life was it changed my life then, and it's obviously changed my life now. Now my kids do know the Lord. And I remember, like, last thing I'll say, because I know I'm running my mouth, but my mom after that would ask me, would I go wake up my dad every Sunday morning and invite him to church? And I just remember like being a scared little kid walking down this hallway to wake up my dad, and it was kind of scary to wake up your dad when he was probably out all night Saturday night and wake him up and say, Dad, will you come to church with us? But I will say that 4 months after I accepted Christ, my dad went to our church and accepted Christ.